I'm not on camera right now, am I?
No, just your shoulder.
Bring it in, guys. Bring it in. Bring it in. I will write those letters home. I will call you out on camera, send the video to your mommies and your daddies, and they can watch you after school in my class. I'll tell them exactly what minute to scroll to when you got your third strike.
I don't even know how to call people on their phones.
I will invite them in for a meeting. We'll have a meeting where I will project on the screen, bring it to that moment, and say, this is what's happening. You're one strike away. You could get it. You could. All right. Are we ready to be good boys and girls?
Yep.
Good. I have a lot to teach you today. In my other classes, I was rushing at the end. In my last class, I didn't even get to the last example. So be good. Oh my goodness. Okay. Now listen. Your homework tonight is to finish this worksheet. The bottom half, odds only. It should take you less than 20 minutes. When I recorded a video of the homework help, which is available, by the way, on YouTube, it only took us about 20 minutes, and we were taking a long time going through the rules and doing all that stuff. So if you know what you're doing, it really should only take you like 10 minutes to do it.
Is it also odd only?
What?
Is it also odd?
Yeah, I just said that.
Oh,
Odds
sorry, I'm
only.
oblivious.
That's okay. Well, okay. All right, I'm going to make this a little bigger. The only problem with teaching a lesson with exponents is that the numbers are so tiny that they're hard to see. Go ahead. Okay. The rules are going to be pretty familiar because you have already done this in on your exponent worksheet. By the way, did I give these back out to you yet?
No.
Those exponent worksheets?
Negative.
I want you guys to have these. I probably should have done this off camera. I want you guys to have these just to have notes, and keep in mind that you are going to have an open notes quiz on Friday. You can't use this paper, but you can copy anything from this paper into your notebook. If you'd like to just copy down the rules, that would be totally fine with me. You just can't use the actual paper. You actually need to write it in your own handwriting. But you guys did a really good job of writing your own examples for these. Overall.
Overall.
Sure. Angus, this is you with the red pen. What do you want to be a teacher when you grow up with that pen? Sure. Yeah, Vincent, red pen, Vincent.
It's not great.
It doesn't have a grade, it was just an action. All right, listen. You guys have been through all of these rules. You've also been doing IXL a little bit. We're just gonna go over some of them and apply them to questions that look really tricky, but if you follow all the rules, you'll be just fine. Everybody's got a pencil in their hand, notebook open, and ready to go. So this lesson doesn't really have a number because remember, this is not from our textbook, it's from last year's textbook, so it's like a preview of the next lesson. So just write the date, okay? January 17th. So we're not talking. Now, reviewing the rules that you went over on your properties worksheet. If you have the same base, what is a base?
The number. The big number.
The big number that's kind of underneath the exponent, that belongs to the exponent, right? This is your base. If they are the same and they are being multiplied, what do you have to do with your exponents?
You have to
Add your exponents. So you're going to simply write your base once with your exponents combined. Because 12 to the 4th power is 12 times 12 times 12 times 12. 12 to the third power is 12 times 12 times 12. If they're being multiplied together, that's 12 times 12 times 12 times 12 times 12 times 12 times 12. That's 12 to the power of 7. Does that make sense why you would add your exponents? If it's the same base, you just have that number over and over and over.
Nice.
Yes.
What if it was a different, like, instead of multiplication, it was like adding?
Then you would not be able to combine your exponents.
Then you have a problem.
This rule is only for when you're multiplying the same base. What you would have to do first is actually solve, like on your calculator, and then add those numbers together. Just order of operations, addition would come last. Okay, so let's look at this. When we have a number that is negative and in parentheses, it's still just a base. Okay, it doesn't have to go down to the dungeon or anything because it's the base is negative, right? Now, we have a negative exponent here and a positive exponent here. So should I send this one to the basement? Or should I say, well, wait, if this is a negative 5, negative 2 times, and a negative 5 7 times, isn't that a negative 5 5 times, right?
25.
No, I'm sorry, not a negative 5 times, like adding it 5 times, it's multiplying it 5
Yeah,
times.
5 times
So it'd
5.
be negative 5 to the 5th power, which would be negative 5 times negative 5 times negative 5 times negative 5 times negative 5. Did I say that 5 times?
Oh
Or
my
was that
No,
4?
no.
Times negative 5. I think that's why. We can watch the video and see if I said it 5 times, okay? Now, so all you would do is add your exponents, follow your rules for adding integers, and you would get negative 5 to the 5th power. Just for kicks, can you tell me, or you want to tell me the answer? I don't want the answer right now.
Dang it.
Because I want, but you can tell me this, but you're gonna have to tell me why.
Okay.
Is the answer going to be positive or negative, and why? Yes.
Positive because if you look at it.
Do you guys agree or disagree?
Agree. Wait, hold on.
Angelina, why do you disagree?
Because since the exponent isn't a number, then it's not equal to the 2, so it doesn't cancel out the numbers.
Exactly. You can immediately look at this exponent and say, if negative 5 is being multiplied times itself over and over, every time you have a pair of negatives, they'll cancel out to positive. A pair of negatives. Pairs. But if your exponent is odd, that means there's going to be an odd negative out that won't get canceled.
God.
So your answer will end up being negative. If this was negative 5 to the 4th power, would it be positive or negative? Positive. What if it was negative 5 to the 4th power written like this? Would it be positive or negative?
Positive.
Negative.
Sorry.
Why?
Because there's no parentheses.
Because there's no parentheses. So we would really be taking 5 to the 4th power, which is positive, and then multiplying it times a negative, making it negative. So this is crazy stuff, right? Lots of rules. Okay, let's try the got it.
Wait.
What?
Can I please say the answer?
Well, okay, sure.
Negative 3, 1, 2, 5.
Negative 3, 1, 2, 5. Great job.
I'm proud of
So-
myself for that.
You guys are gonna do this on your own. What is each expression written using each base only once? That basically means don't plug it into your calculator in the end. Just give me 8 to the something power. If the bases are the same, use your rules for multiplying powers. Do A, B, and C on your own.
Can you use the calculator for me?
Okay. You can use a calculator if you want to for your, like adding your exponents, that's fine. Not on this one, but on the next one it's much harder, yeah. Wait. You don't actually have to solve the final number. Just write it with a base and an exponent. One base and an exponent. Are you done? You done? Well, are you just some sort of genius or what? Are you some sort of floppy genius?
Floppy
Floppy?
dog. Yeah.
Bro, you session.
Another floppy genius.
Is it so?
Very good.
No,
Wait.
Wait, there is something.
Oh, wait.
Oh, you're here.
Simplify B. Simplify B a little bit further. Don't forget your rules for negative exponents. That came out of your head?
Are you gray? Are you one of those people that gray before they're like 80?
Well, a lot of people do that
I have gray
before they're 80.
My parents don't have gray hair.
That's wonderful. Can we focus, please?
It's like
Like 60. You
Okay, did you fix it?
Make
Okay.
it?
I'm confused.
On which one?
B.
Okay, we're gonna go over it because I don't have time to go to do
You're
the
gonna
individual.
No, not the.
Okay. Jocelyn's being nice and quiet though. She knows. She knows what's up. Okay, what did we get for A? Go ahead.
8 to 9 power.
8 to the 9th power. And for B?
10.5.
Girl, what in the world happened?
0.5 to the negative 11
No, I don't know if I did that.
It's okay.
0.5 to the negative 11.
0.5 to the negative 11, and then what would that be?
No, see, I had it.
8,048.
Nope.
And then after Wait, you said that we didn't have to solve it.
You can, the parentheses actually don't make a difference.
It's like that's what I was doing. I did that, I got that, and then I tried to use this thing.
No,
And then
try to use
right.
this thing. Guys, you have already, you guys have already forgotten your rule for negative exponents. Got a negative attitude, where does it go?
Into the dungeon.
Into the dungeon.
torture chamber.
That's the
I got that
answer.
right. Wait.
Did you get that?
Yeah, I actually got that
You got
right.
1 over 0.5 to the
Yes.
power?
Like literally, it's on my paper.
Dang! Alright, good job.
To the 9th power for N.
That's wonderful, Lily. Thank you for sharing. Okay.
Would it still be in parentheses?
Yeah, it could be, honestly, they just did parentheses for like keeping things like neat and clean. It doesn't have anything to do with like order of operations. It's more just like keeping it.
Parentheses on homework, then it'd be fine.
If you did not have parentheses on your homework for that, that would be totally fine because it's not protecting it from like a negative or anything like that. Or protecting a negative. Carmine, what about this?
9 to the 5th power.
Very good. 9 to the 5th power. Negative 3 plus 2 is negative 1. Plus 6 is positive 5. So 9 to the 5th power. I have a lot more to cover. You guys have to be quiet and pay attention, okay? Ooh, I love how quiet it is. My goodness. Okay. So now we're getting crazy.
Crazy?
Get it? Crazy. Slap that knee and pay attention. Do it. You said you would never do it again.
I always lie.
Okay.
I lie a lot.
4z to the 5th times 9z to the negative 12. Couple of rules that you need to remember. First one is don't think that 4 goes with the exponent 5. It's totally separate. The 4 and the z to the 5th, even though they're right next to each other, even though they're considered a term, they have two operations, exponent and multiplication. Which one comes first in order of
Exponent.
operations? exponent. So they are considered separate operations, and therefore they can be multiplied out separately. 4 times 9 is 36. Now we have the same base, z, being multiplied. So what do we do with the exponents?
We add them.
And what do we get?
7,
Nope.
8,
No.
negative 8.
Yeah. You're getting colder. Yeah.
Negative.
-7. So we have z to the -7. Are we done?
No.
Yeah, you say no, but you don't know what to do next. You just know that we're out of time. Yeah.
Like the basement.
Yeah. This has got a negative attitude. So what do I put in the basement?
The z to the -7.
The z to the 7.
Yeah. I don't put the 36 in. It didn't do anything, even though it's next to it. It's like it's hanging out with it. Just don't stay too long. You don't want to have it be a bad influence on you. A negative influence. Get it? Negative influence. But it's really not a part of this operation. So it's this that has to go down to the basement to have a more positive attitude. And then so we end up with 36 over z to the 7.
Why does this actually make sense? This is like the only thing I've understood in your class this year.
Wonderful.
Same.
That's just wonderful.
Okay.
Just got back. Still have a lot left. It's gonna get harder. You guys ready?
Yeah.
I have to move on. You guys have to copy it quick.
Miss like,
Copy.
me brain ready.
Shopping.
Nuts.
Never say that.
What?
Let me see.
After the speech.
I was adding to it.
Whoa.
No, she called him Lexi, so he was defending himself.
Two a times 9b to the 4th times 3a squared. That's a lot of things being multiplied. And also a bunch of things having exponents. Pull out the numbers or the coefficients, the technical name, mathematical name. 2 times 9 times 3 is 54. Don't you love when the book does it for you?
Yep.
2 times 9 times 3 is 54. Now what's the exponent for a?
1.
1.
So
2 is the coefficient. Angus, pay attention, okay? Yes, ma'am. Thank you. The exponent is 1. So we have a to the 1st power times b to the 4th power times a to the 2nd power.
Wait.
Can I add up my 1 and my 4 and my 2?
No,
Why not?
because it's different variables.
Yep, not all the bases are the same. What can I add up?
Oh, 1 and 2.
My 1 and my 2, because I have my a to the 1st
Oh,
times a to the 2nd.
I think
That
that's
means I can
3.
do 1 plus 2 and get a to the 3rd. What about my b to the 4th? What can I combine that with? It's lonely. Nothing. Sorry, b to the 4th. You're gonna stay the way you are.
Too bad.
That's it.
Nice.
Now, if you get these correct, just A, B, and C, not D. These correct on your first try, I will give you a piece of candy. I'm gonna set a timer. When the timer goes off, I don't wanna hear, just check my answer. Set a timer for, okay Siri, set a timer for 4 minutes. Okay, do A, B, and C.
I just give up.
Why? Just try it.
I did.
He deserves a short day, A, B, and C.
Wait,
A, B, and C. If I notice anybody talking, then if I notice anybody talking at all, your name will go up there or another mark will go up. You finish it? Okay. When you're done with A, B, and C, you can call me over. Yeah. So you're gonna want to multiply your coefficients first. Coefficients are just the numbers. 5 times 3, yeah.
Who's out there.
It's great now.
Raina?
Yeah. She was making us every day.
Is this how you started off?
Yes.
Okay, can I throw one here so we fit?
Yeah, definitely. Alright, let's go.
Stop. Okay, Doctor.
No, you need to pay attention and learn this.
I do.
Another person.
It's like A minus something.
Don't
something.
say what it's like.
It's like
Anybody else wanna try?
I am trying.
I'm trying.
First one.
If I get A, can I
That's
get a piece
not
of candy?
correct. No, you have to get all three of them right.
I'm not
It's
gonna
like-
have time to be.
Open up the feed.
The timer didn't go off yet. Please, Siri, how much time is left? We'll give a minute and a half.
I'm 13 now.
Now.
If you just ask me my age, we're gonna cancel on Twitter.
Yeah, I did that, Miss Light.
Yeah, but it needs to be simplified. Okay. That was great. Let's do something about this and then we'll be good. Do something about that one. You done?
Chocolate, that's a good one. I'm telling.
You can still because they're not attached to those variables.
Whoa, Miss Leg, I found it.
Yeah, that was a while ago.
That was like 6 months ago.
Couple of things. This is negative exponent, so it needs to. Let's get simplified. And then just make sure everything's in alphabetical order and that your coefficients, your numbers are first and then your variables.
It's like,
So like you wrote a variable first and then the coefficient number. It should be coefficients first and variables. Fix them and then I'll give you candy. It's not.
Oh, shucks.
Yes.
What's the answer?
Okay, the timer is up.
It's like a 6
I'll be right there.
Today's the bathroom.
Yo, slide me one.
On D, it's -4 times 7 minus 2.
Yeah, that's 4.
Thanks.
Can I use the bathroom now?
He's gonna teach.
Did I get this right?
Did you figure it out? Jacob, did you figure it out? Jacob. You, -4 times 7 times 2. No. The coefficients you multiply. It's the exponent that get added.
I've already got them wrong.
Guys, if I don't finish, you're just all gonna have to watch my homework video, okay? So I'm gonna do as much as I can, but if I don't finish, it's because I couldn't finish. All right, what's this one? 5 times 3 is?
15x to the 14th power.
Very good.
Jinx, you owe me a soda.
I'm serious, some of you guys are about to get a letter home. It's not gonna be good. 15x to the 14th, 4 plus 9 plus 1 is 14. For B, we have to multiply our numbers. Negative 4 times 2 is negative 8 times 7 is negative 56. And then we have c cubed times c to the negative 2. That's 3 times negative 2, which is
C.
good. It's 1, so that's c to the 1, which is invisible. D squared is just d squared. Good?
I put that.
I think it might have been the next one that was wrong.
Oops.
No, first time I multiplied it wrong, but then I.
Okay.
Then,
And then this one was still wrong. Okay, so we don't have any coefficients here. So we just have a coefficient 12. So it'll just be 12, because 12 times 1 is 12. Then we have alphabetical order. Always remember alphabetical order. J first, H-I-J-K. So J squared times J to the first is what?
J third.
J to the third. And then we have K to the negative second.
Go down.
Some of you guys put this as your answer. There's nothing wrong with the value of it, but it's got a negative attitude, so it's gotta go
Oh.
to the basement to get a positive attitude, and that's the simplified version.
It's being changed
I
up.
gotta keep going, no talking. Okay, this is where it's gonna just hurt your brain a little bit. It's gonna look weird, it's quite simple when I tell you the rules. It is not on your exponent property sheet, okay? So pay attention. 81 to the 1/4 power. Actually, I'm gonna start with something else. Okay. Do not leave if anybody packs up. You're staying after, I'm not gonna go pass. Before we get to this, let's just review something. What's the square root of 25? 5, good. So you know that's a square root sign, right?
Yeah.
Did you know that there's an invisible number here?
Yeah.
What is that invisible number?
1.
It's actually not 1. It is 2. Remember, it's the
Square root.
it's the square root. So the invisible number here is 2. If you like to put it there, that's fine. But just know that when it's invisible, it's a 2. There are other scenarios where there will be a different number, like the cubed root, or the 4th root, or the 5th root. We'll get to that in a second. But do you agree that the square root of 25 is 5? And if I wanted to, I can show that as the square root of 25. Same thing, right?
I think so, yeah.
Well, you can also write it like this. 25 to the 1/2 power is the same thing as the square root of 25. The denominator is the root. So 25 to the 1/2 power is the square root of 25, which is 5.
So we divide the.
You're not dividing anything. It's a calculator function. You can use your calculator. Okay, now, let's go to something like this. 81 to the 1/4 power, I'm just gonna make it a little bit bigger so you can see it. 81 to the 1/4 power, that's not gonna be a square root, that's gonna be
A fourth
a
root.
4th root. And that means it's not the number times itself, it's the number times itself times itself times itself. That's
So wait.
4 times.
So then, when, no, my third answer.
Let me keep going. So that means that the 4th root of 81 is the number that when it's multiplied times itself 4 times, not 3 times 4, 3 times 3 times 3 times 3 is 81. So the 4th root of 81, or 81 to the 1/4 power, is 3. Now this works for all of these numbers here. What is 16 to the 1/4 power?
4.
Nope, it's
But
not
2.
divided, it's 2, because it's the 4th root of 16, which you can put in your calculator, but the smaller numbers are easier to do, so 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 is 16, so the answer is 2. What about 27 to the 1/3 power?
7.
3.
Yeah, 3, because 3.
Because it's the 3rd root, or the cubed root of 27, which is blank times blank times blank is 27, that would be 3. Okay, I want to show you one more thing, and then I'll let you go. Look at this crazy business. 64 to the 3/2 power. That's really the same thing as saying 64 to the 1/2 times 64 to the 1/2, because 1/2 times 1/2, I'm sorry, 1/2 plus 1/2 plus 1/2 is 3/2. If that is not mathing right now, don't worry about it. Here's the trick. The denominator is always the root. The numerator is your power. So you do it in 2 steps. You can get the door, Grayson. You do it in 2 steps. The square root of 64 is what?
8.
8. Then you cube it. Then you cube it, and you get 8 times, oh, it's right here, 512. Do you guys understand?
Yeah.
Oh, there is a property on that one? Oh, it's the rational